Today you're in for a gripping story of love, revenge, and betrayal. Be sure to share your opinion at the end of the story. What would you do if you were betrayed? Have you been betrayed? Have you been cheated on? Give us a like and subscribe. Enjoy the story. To the sharks in water who call me a bad mom, a crazy bitch, fake, or even just think I'm out of my mind, you will find no blood in this water. So it's best you move on and find a thread where the OP will chum the water for you. It's so very easy to read and judge, this I understand. I just hope that if this ever happens to you that you will be as brave, logical, and composed as you expect others to be. If not, you will find sharks circling you as well. So I hope you are as strong of a swimmer as you claim to be. If you are still reading, my saga/survival continues. Our final mediation papers will arrive this week. We were able to settle everything at the last meeting on January 12th, and the documents just need our signature. After that, the divorce papers need to be served and filed with the county. Then we await our court date, which will be done via Zoom. Yes, a bit anticlimactic, but it will still serve its purpose of divorcing. He has started, finally, to look for an apartment, but nothing is to his satisfaction. Maybe he is being picky, or maybe he is comfortable living in the basement. Either way, once the divorce papers are stamped, he needs to be gone. He has started making phone calls to her during the day, and I can hear him giggling downstairs. I'm happy he is happy, I really am. That isn't passive-aggressive. I know I will be happy one day too, he just got there first, and that's okay. I feel like my life is in limbo right now. I can't move forward because I'm chained to the past. I'm hoping his move will be soon. I suspect he wants out for February 1st so he can go visit her for Valentine's Day. I hope for his sake, and mine, that he makes his deadline. I will update again after I receive the mediation paperwork and divorce papers are served. I'm sure that will stir up a lot of thought and emotion, so I'm certain it will be a doozy. Till then, I'll keep doggy paddling. Souvenirs. If you have been following along, then you know that there was a chance he would leave for Valentine's Day to go visit her. Well, he left this morning. He told the kids, I'm going, as he walked out the door, leaving me to explain a few hours later that he had to leave to work when they started asking for him. I have learned that I can't have expectations. Just because I would try to be more honest with the kids doesn't mean he would. I was really proud of the fact that I didn't even engage him in the discussion/debate/argument of going. Yes, I had loudly vocalized some feelings a week ago when he told me he was going, but I have not engaged him about it since. All I asked was for his flight info so that I would know when to expect him back. He did not provide this information. Maybe he thinks I'm not entitled to it. Either way, he left and I was fine. While we had the conversation multiple times, in which he agreed that he would not visit her again till he had an apartment, he has reneged on that agreement. Shocker. He claims that he has every right to be here, which he does legally, and he can do as he pleases. He put a down payment on an apartment a few days ago, but says he doesn't know when he is moving. What? The bills he pays in the house are less than the child support he will have to pay, so I think his decision to stay longer might be a financial one. I've offered him any piece of furniture he wants in the house. I even offered to pay for one half of the cost of bunk beds for the boys. I just need him to leave. I have no idea why he is dragging his feet. But I learned through a mutual friend and former work colleague of theirs that she recently had COVID. When I say recently, I mean the Board of Health from her state said she could stop quarantining 3 days ago. But what about her kids that are in the home? Were they living there during her quarantine? Are they positive? Perhaps they are asymptomatic? Will my STBX be bringing me and our children home a COVID souvenir? I'm livid. COVID insensitivity. For all those messaging me with concern and for updates, I apologize for my tardiness. It has been a heartbreaking 2 weeks. To amend for my absence, I will be posting 2 updates tonight. Let me start from the beginning. My STBX left for his getaway on February 12th and did not return until February 15th. During his blissful vacation, my family and I suffered a great loss of one of our most beloved members to COVID. I was a mess. Everyone I love was devastated. I called my STBX on February 13th and told him the prognosis was not good. It was loud where he was, there were children yelling. He informed me he was outside with her kids. Wow. Can't remember the last time he took our children outside, but I digress. I shouldn't have expected him to care about my bad news, but he was concerned. I guess there is still a decent bone somewhere in him. That concern would not last long though. Upon his return, as he usually does, he schedules a COVID test. He scheduled one for 4 days after his return, but due to snow in our area he did not go. This I understand, the weather cannot be controlled. Then he told me he rescheduled for 4 days later and then does not go. When I questioned him, his response was, "I feel fine." I suspected since she probably got a negative COVID test shortly before his arrival he felt safe in not getting one. Not until Monday, March 1st, did he finally get tested. A full 2 weeks later. Why? You know my family just suffered a terrible loss to COVID. How could you be so reckless and insensitive? The insensitive question is rhetorical. I obviously know the answer already. The real monster. The day is approaching. Large boxes are being delivered to the house daily containing new furniture to be assembled. The sounds of packing tape being ripped from the spool flood the house every evening. He's moving out. I'm overjoyed. I'm so happy that I have actually started engaging him in conversation. Yes, we have to chat to figure out child support and scheduling, but now I'm so ecstatic he's leaving I even asked about his move. I feel like a kid at Christmas. While we were discussing his move, what he would be taking from the home and the schedule for seeing the children, I asked if he planned to visit her. No, this wasn't me prying. We need to set an overnight and weekend schedule for the kids, and I was hoping to be accommodating to any trips he had planned. But then my curiosity got the best of me, but for a good reason, our children. I asked if she plans to come here to meet the kids. He replied in the affirmative and said she may come. Well, good for you both, but I would like to meet her before she meets the children. He went silent. I could tell he was rolling thoughts around in his head or perhaps trying to figure a way out of this situation, but he came up empty. He honestly wanted to know why I needed to meet her. Excuse me, come again? You really think I would let my children spend time with someone I didn't know? I'm the mother that interviews babysitters. Why would you think I wouldn't want to meet her? He claims to be worried that I won't be civil, but he knows me better than that. I have nothing to gain being rude to her. It's just ammo. I refuse to play that game. Plus, why would I care? I don't want him. That's your prize now, honey. Congrats. But he recognizes that he can't stop me in this. I have every right to meet her as he would to meet someone I am dating. When it comes to the kids, we can't keep secrets. I think the real concern about us meeting is this: she will realize I'm not the horrible monster he made me out to be. His plans of assassinating my character to build himself up or to receive pity from her and the constant gaslighting will be revealed. She will see that I am not pining over him, quarreling with him, and that I'm genuinely a good person. Maybe she will see that he might be the real monster. And gave her a playful pat. That's for me to know and none of your business, she squealed, and I heard Sabrina's echo from the car. I knew it. She's perfect for you, Daddy. I love her so much, and Sabs is like a sister to me. I shrugged. What happens, happens, Toby. You can't force it. Stop trying to be a matchmaker. She snuggled up against me. I know, Daddy, but if I didn't do something you'd never make a move. Not that I didn't like being the only girl in your life. I laughed. You'll always have a special place in my heart that no one can take. You're my baby, and that'll never change, she purred. Contentedly snuggled against me for a moment and then went off to handle her own business. Our first date went well. I invited her to play racquetball. She was new to it, but she had played tennis before, so the mechanics were similar. When she got the hang of the rules and hitting the ball off the walls, she did great. It didn't hurt that she was a natural athlete, fast and quick to change direction, which her petite size helped with. After our game, we sat down near the court, relaxed, and had a drink. Julie grabbed her phone. Let's take a picture for the kids, she said. We posed with our rackets and goggles, snapped the photo, and sent it to them. They responded immediately, and it became a nice memory. Afterward, we both showered, and I took her out to dinner. We found a great Italian place and stuffed ourselves sitting in the booth finishing our wine. Jules leaned into me and it felt natural to put my arm around her. She nestled closer smiling and I realized how sweet she truly was, a quality that wouldn't fade with time. When we pulled up to her house she leaned toward me expectantly. I realized she wanted me to kiss her, so I did. I wanted it as much as she did, maybe more. The kiss was long and wonderful. Her lips were soft and sweet, tasting of wine and cherry chapstick. As we pulled apart I noticed the drapes moving. I think we've got an audience, I said. She giggled, sounding just like her daughter, or maybe her daughter was like her. I'm not surprised, you know, they're trying to set us up right. Is that okay with you? I asked. She blushed. Yes, I like everything I've learned about you, Ollie. Same here, I said. We better go inside before they tear the curtains down. We met every Friday for 4 months, getting closer and closer, and I wanted our relationship to grow. I didn't want to pressure her, but some of our dates were getting pretty heated toward the end. At the same time, I found that I enjoyed her friendship almost as much as I liked having her as my girlfriend. We were constantly chatting on the phone, texting funny things or just a few words throughout the day. If I saw or heard something I knew would make Jules laugh, I had to share it with her. We became very close, knowing everything about each other's lives. We started having dinner together every Tuesday, all of us playing games and just hanging out, and I was growing as fond of Sabrina as I was of her mom. They were so alike. If you knew one, you pretty much knew the other. The differences were small, but only emphasized how similar they really were. Both were utterly adorable. Life was great except for Rachel's constant presence. She was still part of Toby's life, which meant she was still part of mine. I wanted nothing to do with her, and seeing her irritated me. Every time she came to pick up Toby or when I dropped her off at her grandparents', Rachel would try to talk to me. She was still living with them along with Jerry. She had lost her job at the clinic and was now working at another clinic across town. If she annoyed me too much, I'd ask if she heard from Jerry, which shut her up quickly. How long is it going to take for you to forgive me? She asked. One time. Forgive you for what? I replied, as far as I know you don't think you've done anything wrong. I've never heard forgive me, Oliver. I was wrong. I'm sorry for trying to make Toby think you were a liar. I'm sorry for trying to take her away from you, for trying to screw you in the divorce, and most of all, I've never heard I'm sorry. I cheated behind your back. I didn't hear it that time either. She just couldn't take responsibility for her actions. I wasn't even sure what forgiveness would mean in this situation. I'd come to terms with it and calm down. I hadn't forgotten, but I wasn't going to waste energy being bitter. People have the right to make mistakes. They can divorce you, dump you, and friendships, it's their choice. You just accept it and move forward. People do crappy things every day. At one point I wanted to punish her and Jerry, but I realized quickly that their punishment was simply being who they were. They had to live with themselves while I planned to live with myself. That meant leading the lies and betrayal in the past and focusing on living my best life. Rachel was miserable, and as for Jerry, I wished him all the misfortune in the world, but it wouldn't come from me. I'd let karma or the universe take care of them. Rachel got even more upset when she found out I was dating Jules. One time after I dropped Toby off at her grandparents' house, Rachel stopped me as I was getting into my car. I heard you're dating the mother of one of Toby's friends, she said. I just stared at her. Is it true? She pressed. That's none of your business. I told her like hell it isn't. She snapped. I'm your wife. I have a right to know. You have a right to nothing. I replied. You're not my wife anymore. You found your soulmate, remember? And it wasn't me. Then came the divorce. My business isn't yours anymore, and yours isn't mine. Stay out of it, Rachel. I left fuming. That woman just couldn't leave things alone. I told Toby what had happened, and she was just as angry as I was. From then on, I arranged for her grandparents, Bob or Cindy, to pick her up. That took away a major source of stress for me. On the 7-month anniversary of our lake trip, I asked Jules out for a special date. We went to a nice restaurant and then to a club. She didn't drink much, usually just a beer or a single drink, but that night she had two. I raised an eyebrow when she ordered the second one, and she laughed. Yeah, I'm feeling wild and crazy today. Huh, you're perfect, just like always. I told her. Do you really think so, Ollie? She asked, tilting her head. Because I think you're pretty perfect too. If I'm so perfect, why haven't you asked me to spend the night? She teased. I must have looked shocked because she laughed. What, didn't you even think about it? I gathered my thoughts. Yeah, Jules, I've been thinking about it since the first day I saw you on the boat in that bikini, but as we started dating I realized you were special, and I didn't want to push you or scare you off. You won't scare me off, she said. I told the girls not to wait up. Really? Then what are we still doing here? I asked, excited. Oh my god, Jules, let's get out of here. Do you want to spend the night with me? She blushed, took my hand, and let me help her up. More than anything else in the world right now, she practically cuddled up to me as we got out of the car, holding onto my arm the whole way home with her head resting on my shoulder. When we pulled into the garage, I let her out and she stayed close to my side all the way to the bedroom. We fell asleep in each other's arms, making love twice during the night, once on my initiative, once on hers. I woke up the next morning on my back with her half. What would you think of this story? Leave your opinion in the comments. Thanks for watching.